Hello and welcome to the chapter Interface Python with MySQL. This is the part 7 of this particular chapter. I hope you have watched the other parts of this particular chapter. If not, I have given all the links in the description. You can just go and watch them from the links given in the description. And this is the final part of this particular chapter. So today we are going to discuss about CRUD operations in Python with SQL. CRUD operation is a database application with the help of which we can perform 4 basic operations in Python with SQL. So let's begin with the syllabus. So this is the syllabus. Out of the syllabus, we are going to discuss the topic which is highlighted in red, that is creating database connectivity applications. So what application we are going to develop? We are going to develop an application called as the CRUD application, and basically these are 4 basic SQL operations that database applications must include in order to be complete. So in every database of applications, 4 basic SQLs are mandatory. These 4 basic applications we are going to do in one application itself. So C stands for create. Create means inserting a record into an already existing table is known as the create function. Next is R. R stands for read. Read, with the help of this operation, we will be displaying the data which is stored in a particular table. Next is the update. Update means modifying existing data from a table. And the final one is delete. Delete means removing existing data from a particular relation or table. So let's try to understand with the help of an application. So let's say we have this particular table and the name of this particular table is EMP. So the first operation is C. C, what does it does? It adds a new row to an existing relation. Next is R, which is used for displaying the data. Next is U, which stands for updating or data modification. Data modifications means if you want to change the existing data, it is known as data modification, and it is done with the help of U, which stands for update operation in Python. And the final one is D, which stands for data removal. So adding a new row can be said as follows. Let's say this was the final, we had one table, and in the table we have added a new row which says employee ID 1005 and employee name as Sunil. Displaying means whatever data is stored, if you want to just show it with the help of Python programming language, then it is known as displaying data. Data modification means, let's say you want to change the name of Alice to Alia. That means we are modifying the data, not deleting, not displaying. We are just changing the values of data. And data removal means what? Removal means you are just deleting the data. You can either delete specific data as shown here, or you can, so this is called selected data removal because we have deleted only a part of the entire table, or you can choose to delete the entire data, which is known as entire data removal. So we are going to write one Python program which will have all these operations together, and therefore it can be said as a database application. So let's see how we will go about this application. We will create a menu based program. What type of application we'll do? We'll create a menu based application. So in the menu based application, we'll give 4 options. First will be for C, which says insert data. That means if an user presses 1, he will be given the option of inserting data to an existing table. Second option will be for R, which is for displaying the data. Third option will be for U, which is for updating the data, and fourth option will be for D, which is for data removal. We will be giving a menu, we will be making a menu based program. That means whenever you run the program, a menu will be displayed, and based on the option selected by the user can perform any of these operations. So in case of updating the data, let's say we have had the table with employee ID and employee name. within update we will be having two options. The two options will be whether the user wants to update employee ID or employee name. Within data removal also we will have two options, whether the user wants to remove the entire data or the selected data. Okay, so based on the input we will be doing the operations as per the input selected by the user. And what does deleting selected data means? How we will do the filtration for deleting selected data? The filtration will be done with the help of employee ID. Okay, so let's go and develop this particular application in Python. So the first work will be to create the database. So database creation can be done with the help of Python, also with the help of MySQL also. I prefer creating the database in MySQL. So let's create a database. So this is the MySQL screen. So let's create the database. So create database. You can give any name for the database. Let's say test crude. Okay, let's say this is our the name of our database. So yes, the database creation is successful. Now we will use the database. You know all these steps we have already discussed in the series on MySQL. You can just check them out if you have some confusion in these commands. Okay, so we'll use the database. Within that we have to create a table. What is the name of the table we are going to create? We are going to create a table by the name EMP, which will have two columns as employee ID and employee name. So let's create the table. So by the syntax, create table name, let's give the table name as EMP, and then the first column name which says employee ID, let's give it as EID, and let's give it as int. And the next one is employee name. So it will be a string, so let's give it as Farkar. Let's give it the maximum character as 30 characters. So yes, our table creation is successful, our database creation is also successful. Now we'll go and create the program in Python. So let's begin. So at first what we need to do, let's give a command here which is like crude operations in Python SQL. Okay, so we are going to use the power of Python and SQL both to create the crude operations in Python SQL. That means our application will be able to perform create, display, update and delete. Create means insertion of data. So let's do it one by one. At first we need to import the necessary packages, which is we need to import what? We need to import MySQL connector, MySQL dot connector as ms, connector 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 as ms. After that we need to create the connection object. Let's take the connection object as x. You already know all these things. I have already discussed this in the previous parts of this particular chapter. You can just go and revisit them if you do not know about this. Then connect function, then here host will be what? Host is our local host because my database is located in this machine itself. And now we'll give the user name is root, and now we'll give the password. In MySQL I have not given any password, so I'll just do what? I'll just leave it as blank. And then database, here we need to give the database name. So what is the name of the database we gave here? So if you can just remember here, the name of the database is test underscore crude. So I have to put that database name here, test underscore crude. This is the name of the database which we have created just now. Okay, after that what we need to do, let's create the create the cursor object. So by cur equals to x dot cursor, because you have to traverse through the data, we'll create the cursor object once here. So after that let's test the connection. If x dot is connected, then let's say I'll just display a message like print success. I'll just save it and okay, you have to save it with some name. Let's give it the name as crude SQL python.py and let's run it. As I run it, I am getting the message as success. That means my connection is successful. That means there is no error in my SQL Python connectivity. Now let's move on with the code. So here I will want to run the code again and again, not just once. So I will be using the while loop here. So let's take an initialization variable as ANS. Why I have taken ANS, you will come to know at the end of this program. After that, I'll just take a while loop while ANS equals to small y, or let's make it case insensitive. So we'll be giving both the possibilities. That means until ANS equals to y or ANS equals to capital Y, this particular loop will be running. Now what I explained a few minutes back, I explained that I am going to create a menu based program. So let's create a menu based program. So let's give a variable as chooser. This variable will be used to receive the input from the user as to which operation the user wants to do at present. Chooser equals to, let's say, int y, because we are going to give number for choosing. Int input, let's give it as CRUD operations in, let's just give it as CRUD operations, and I will want it to come in the new line. So I am giving a /n1, I am giving, let's say, C, let's say insert data. Okay, then I will give the second option in the next line. So I am giving a /n2, let's say 2 stands for R. R stands for what? R stands for read or display data. Okay, and then let's say I'll give in the next line third number, which stands for U, which is U, and which stands for what? Update data. Update data. And next finally we have D, which stands for what? Which stands for delete data. So these are the main menus which is kept in the variable chooser. After that, if you already know about this selection statement, I have already done it in the flow of control chapter in class 11. So if chooser equals to 1, what is the option that should come in for chooser equals to 1? Insertion of data. So we'll give such options which will help the user in inserting data into the table. Okay, now here I'll give another one option which is more, so that the user is able to enter multiple data again and again. Okay, so here I'll have to give another one while loop. That's why if more equals to y, let's make it case insensitive, or more equals to capital Y. Now let's take the employee ID from the user. You give any variable name, EID equals to int input, enter employee ID. Employee ID has been received here, will be received in the variable EID. After that we require the employee name also. Let's give it as ename. It is a string, so I am giving just input, enter employee name. Okay, after that what we'll have to do, we have to execute the SQL queries. So for that we have to use the execute function, and it should be used with the help of the cursor object, which is CUR in this case. So I'll give here CUR dot execute. I've already discussed about all these functions, what is execute, what is car, in details in the previous parts. So if I'm moving through a topic very fast, that means I've already done it. So you can just check it out. If you do not have these basic concepts, you can just clarify those concepts and then come back to this video. Okay, so here CUR dot execute, I want to insert value. So what is the command? Insert into table name. Our table name is EMP. Values, I'll be using the method of using the format function, which has been discussed in the part 5, I think 5 or 6. You can just go and check them out. So I'll be using the format function method, insert into EMP values. Then what is the first thing? The first thing is employee ID, which is integer. So I'll give the bracket just as it is, and next is a string. So I'll have to enclose this bracket within quotes. Okay, insert into table name values, and after that I'll just close this quotes, and then I have to give the format function dot format. Now what will come in this case? Whatever is received through EID. So I will give here what? I will give here EID. What will come in place of this? What will come? E-name will come. So what I have to give here? I have to give E-name here. Okay, the execute function is done without any errors. Now if I have to finalize it, as I have discussed in one of the previous parts, I have to use a function. The name of that function is called the commit function. So x.commit. So I'll be using the commit function here so that the changes are permanently happening at the MySQL's end. So after inserting one data, I'll ask whether the user wants to enter more data or not. So for receiving it, I'll use this variable. What is this variable? The variable is called more. So I'll be doing more equals to input. Do you want to insert more data? I'll receive it with Y or N. So if the user presses Y, then again this condition will become true. So this part will keep on running until an user chooses Y. So after every entry, data entry, the screen will ask you, do you want to insert more data? So if you press Y, then this loop will run. If you press N, then this loop will be terminated. Okay, so the work of the first one is completed. Now let's go to the second option, which is R, which stands for displaying the data. So what we have to do, we have to do in this manner. If chooser equals to 2, then what we have to do, we have to display the entire data. So we'll use the execute function cur.execute. How to display the entire data? By using select star from table name. What is our table name? Our table name is EMP. After that, we have to bring the data and store it in a variable. Let's say that variable is called data. Data equals to cur dot fetch all. What this fetch all function will do? Fetch all function will bring entire data and store it in the variable data. Now if you have to display it, you can display it with the help of for loop. For I in data, of course you can use tabulate, but I am using the traditional approach here, print I. So I'll be displaying the data here. Okay, now let's go and implement the third menu, which is if chooser equals to 3. Third menu is for updating data, CRU. We have already done C and we have already done R. Now what we'll be doing? We will be using the third one, which is the updating, CRUD. So here we have to give another menu, which is, let's say, by variable update chooser. You can take any variable, but I am giving a user friendly variable so that I'll not get confused later on. So here I'll ask the user, like, what do you want to update? Want to update. Updating means changing the existing data. Okay, so let's say /n a. Let's ask employee ID. The user might want to update employee ID, or in the next line, let us ask whether the user wants to update employee name or what. Okay, so here I'll just give a /n here. Okay, so in this variable, what will be received? The information will be received as to what the user wants to update. The user might want to update employee ID also or the employee name also. So we are giving a menu here, extra menu. Now we'll be programming for A and B separately. So if update chooser equals to capital A, or let's make it case insensitive, or update chooser equals to small a. Now what we'll ask here? We will ask what does the user wants to update here. No, A stands for what? Updating employee ID. So what we'll be receiving? We'll be receiving the old or the original employee ID. Okay, so let's take a variable as, let's say, EID old. Okay, so we'll be asking the user, what will be asking? Enter existing employee ID. Okay, So here I have to give int input, enter existing employee ID. So here the user will enter the existing employee ID. After that, what I have to do, I have to ask the new employee ID. So let's give it as EID new equals to let's take as int input enter new employee ID. Okay, so for this you need to know about the syntax of the update command in MySQL. If you do not know about it, you can just go and check out my series on MySQL under the playlist database management. Okay, so now we'll be using the execute function, which says cur dot execute. What is the syntax? If you remember, update table name is emp, set column name equals to value. What is this column name? This column name will be the updated column name, which is EID. EID equals to value, where EID equals to this. So here, as I am taking dynamic input, so I am just leaving it blank, and since it is an int, so I am not enclosing it within quotes. I have already discussed about it in the previous parts. So here what I will do, update table name, set column name equals to value, where existing column name equal to value, where new column name equals to value, dot format. So now what will come here? Here the new employee ID will come. Therefore, EID underscore new will come here. That means update table name, set employee ID equals to here. Here what will come? The new employee ID will come here. Where employee ID equals to here, what will come? Here the existing employee ID will come. Therefore, which variable should be used here? EID underscore old. Okay, I have done this. Now what I can do, I have to make these changes permanent. So I have to use the commit function here. So let's use the commit function here, x dot commit. Okay, so now let's display a message like print data updated successfully. Okay, now let's do the programming for the second submenu, which says if update chooser equals to B, or update chooser equals to small b for making it in case insensitive. So now what I'll do, I'll be my intention is to update the employee name. So if an user wants to update the employee name, then the user will choose B as his or her option. Okay, so now let's do the programming for updating employee name. So here let's receive the EID by a variable. Let's say the variable is EID. So let's say I'll give int input enter employee ID to update employee name. Let's give it as capital letter for better visibility. So enter employee ID to update employee name, which has been received by the variable EID. Now we require employee name also. So which is a string int. So input enter new employee name. The employee might change his or her name, or by mistake the spelling might be wrong. So in those cases the updation may be required. So we are giving this particular facility. Now we'll be using the execute function cur dot execute update. So this particular part is a summary of all the things which we have learned in this particular chapter. Okay, we have just compiled everything and put it into a single program. So update table name. What is the table name? emp set column name equals to value. What we want to set here? Employee name. So here within the execute function you have to use those variable names which you have given in MySQL. So what is the variable name given for employee name? I have given capital E underscore name. So I have to use this particular variable only. So don't get confused here, because within execute we are going to give an SQL command only. Therefore we have to use only those variable names which we have given in MySQL. So update table name, set column name equals to value. So since it is a string, I have to enclose it within quotes, where I am doing the filtering by EID. So where EID equals to this, okay. Dot format, what will come in this place, ename will come. So here I will be using this local variable in Python, comma, here what will come, EID. So I will be using this variable which I am giving in Python here. Okay, so in this way I can update it. So for making the changes permanent, I will be using the commit function which is given by x.commit, and after that I can just give a message like data updated successfully. Okay, so I can do in this way. Now we'll go to our last operation, which is the delete operation. So what I have to do, if chooser equals to 4, here also I'll have two menus, because I may want to delete entire data or selected data. So I'll give a variable which is delete chooser, input like press /n number a, delete entire data. Again I can give /n, and then second option can be delete selected data. Okay, after that I can just put a /n so that the cursor comes in the next line. After that I have to do this programming one by one. If delete chooser equals to capital A, or delete chooser equals to small a, for making it case insensitive. So here first option is for deleting entire data. So what I can do, I can give cursor object dot execute. What is the syntax? The syntax for deleting entire data is delete from table name. So which in this case will be delete from table name is what? Our table name is EMP. Okay. So after that what I can do, I can make the changes permanent by using the commit function by giving x dot commit here. So after that finally I'll give print entire data deleted. Okay, so in this way I can delete the entire data. What if I want to delete selected data? So for that I have made a second option which is for deleting selected data. So I have to do that part of programming. So if delete chooser equals to capital B, or delete chooser equals to small b. So here I have to do the filtering by employee ID. So let's do it. EID equals to int input enter employee ID record to delete. Why record? Because I will be deleting the entire row, not just the employee ID. Okay. So after that what I can do, I can just give the execute function cur dot execute. So what is the syntax? The syntax is delete from table name, which is EMP, where I am doing the filtering by employee ID. So I have to use that variable name in SQL, which is e underscore ID, where employee ID equals to, let's leave it as blank. I am using the format method, so I have to use the format function. Format, what will come here? EID will come here. This EID which I have given in the above line will come in this particular part. After that, for making the changes permanent, I have to use the commit function here. So after that I'll just display a message like data deleted successfully. Okay, now here if you just see, at the very beginning I have used the variable ans, which will help in running this particular loop again and again. So at the end, what I have to do, I just have to break the block and I have to ask whether the program is to be run again or not. So this particular the indentation should be with this particular block. Okay, am I matching the indentation level? Yes, I am matching the indentation level here. What is the variable name? The variable name is ans. So let's ask if the user wants to run again or not. Run again, let's say y or n. Okay, so I'll just save it and I'll just run it. So this option will come, CRUD operations. You can press any of the operations 1, 2, 3 or 4. Let's say first I have to insert data, so I'm choosing 1 here. Okay, enter employee ID. Let's say I give the employee ID as 1001. Then it is asking me the employee name. Let's say I'll give the employee name as Elias. I'll press the enter key. Then it is asking me, do you want to insert more data? Why it is come? Because here I have at the end, after inserting one data, I have used the variable more to ask if you want to insert more data. So yes, I want to insert more data, so I have given y here. Enter employee ID again. Let's say I'll give it as 1002. Name, let's say I'll give it as Bob. Then it will ask me again if I want to insert more data or not. Let's say I'll insert one more data, let's say with 1003. Enter employee name, let's say I'll give it as Raj. Do you want to insert more data? I think if I do not want to insert more data, I'll just give N here. So after pressing N, it is asking me, do you want to run again? Because here which particular variable has come true? If chooser equals to 1, this particular block has come true. So if this particular block has come true, the other blocks has come false because we have pressed 1 only. So at the end, this particular line has been asked in the output screen, which is, do you want to run again or not? Yes, I want to run again, so I'll give here Y. Let's say now I want to display the data which I have inserted just now. So for displaying, what is the option of menu? It is number 2. So I'll give 2 here. So see, my data is being displayed here. Run again. Let's say I want to run it again. So I'll press Y. Let's say I want to do the updation. So I'll choose what? I'll choose 3. What do you want to update? Number A, employee ID. Number 2, employee name. Let's say I want to update employee name. So I'll choose B. So the screen is asking me, enter employee ID to update employee name. So let's say I want to update employee name of Bob. So what I'll give the employee ID as 1002. Enter new employee name. Let's say the new employee name is, let's say, Ankita. So I'll just write new employee name Ankita and press the enter key. So data updated successfully. Let's say run again. Yes. Display. Let's say I'll see the updated data with the help of displaying. So for displaying, I'll press 2 again. So see, now the data has been updated from Elias to Ankita. Run again. Let's say yes, I want to run again. Let's say I'll test another option of update by giving the menu as 3. What do you want to update? Let's say now I want to update the employee ID. So I'll have to choose what? I'll have to choose A. So enter existing employee ID. Let's say I want to change the employee ID of Raj from 1003 to 1089. Let's say. So enter existing employee ID, which is 1003. Enter new employee ID. Let's say I want to change it to 1089. So I'll give it and press the enter key. So I'm getting data updated successfully. Run again. Yes, let's say I want to display the data. So upon displaying, as you can see here, previously the employee ID of Raj was 1089, but now it was 1003, but now it has been updated to 1089. Run again. Let's say yes. Let's test the last option, which is deleting data by using option number 4. So here I have to give 4. So it is asking me delete entire data or delete selected data. At first, let's delete selected data by giving B as the option. Enter employee record to delete. Let's say I want to delete the record of employee ID 1002. So I'll give 1002 and I'm getting the message that data deleted successfully. See, this data deleted successfully, data updated successfully has not come automatically. We have given it in the print statement for making it more user friendly. Run again. Yes. Display data. Yes, it has been displayed. Now only 2 records are there. Why? Because we have already deleted the record with employee ID 1002. Run again. Yes, now let's delete the entire data by pressing 4. Yes, the first option is delete entire data. So for that, let's give A and the entire data deleted. Now let's say Y. So now I'll press display data 2. So here upon pressing 2, I am not getting any output. Why? Because now there is no data. But for making it more user friendly, what I can do some modification in the code. So see, so run again. Let's say I'll now give N. So now the program will be terminated as you press N here. Now see, when there is no data to display, it what is contained, an empty list is contained. So just we can handle it perfectly by giving one statement in the chooser equals to 2 after the fetch all function in this line. So if I just write if data, so whatever will be the data received from SQL, it will be stored in the variable data. So if there is no data, what will be stored? An empty list will be stored. So just I can handle it properly by giving this. If data equals to empty list, I can just give here print like data, like no data to display, so that I can handle it properly. Okay, and then let's save it and then let's run it again. CRUD operation, insert, display, update, delete. Let's say I'll give 2 here. So I'm getting the output as no data to display. Okay, let's run the program again. So let's do some it in a more user friendly way. Let's say here after delete data, I'll give 2/n for making it a bit more user friendly. Okay, so now let's run it again. CRUD operation, let's say now if I just give display data, I am getting the option as no data to display because I have deleted everything in the previous run. So now the advantage is that if you run something once, the changes will be made permanently. Okay, it's not that after one run you will again reach to the previous status. Okay, now whatever has been done in one run, those data will automatically be saved. Run again. Let's say I'll give Y. Let's say I'll insert data 1, employee ID, let's say I'll give 9000, employee name, let's say I'll give Raju. Enter. Do you want to insert more data? Let's say no. Run again, yes. Let's say I'll want to display data, so I'll have to press 2 here. So I'm getting 9000 comma Raju. See, only when the list is empty, I'll get the option as no data to display. Okay, so that's all about the a basic database application, which is the CRUD application. Of course, you can add many more features here. For example, if you want to display selected data, you can just give the options for search. I have already discussed how to give the options for search in one of the previous parts of this particular chapter. If you want to make the table data proper, you can use the tabulate library, which I have already taught in the previous part. Okay, but now I'll not be using the tabulate library here because some of you might not know about tabulate library. But after you know about tabulate library, you can just import that tabulate library here. But tabulate should be installed before importing, and just by making minor changes here, you can just format the data well. How to format the data? For that, you can look to the previous part. Okay, so now here run again. I'll just press no here. Okay. So that's all about this particular chapter. So if you can see, this is our syllabus and I have completed the entire syllabus of this particular chapter. Okay, I'll see you again with a new chapter, and if some more applications are there from this particular chapter or some additional topics which I feel that it should be taught, then I'll be discussing here. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that this session was useful.